Hey, welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. My name is Iona Meade. I am your host at the Soul Legacy TV, it's Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So it is what I call Financial Freedom Sunday on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. And specifically, the topic and the theme today is about soul clients and financial freedom for spiritual entrepreneurs. I'm super excited about today's episode. I love Financial Freedom Sunday, not even gonna lie, never used to, but we talk about all things soul clients, all things soul family influence and soul tribe impact. And one of the things that I want to share with you before we dive into the episodes, and it's kind of becoming a thing, I've got a framework around this episode. And the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is a very practical episode, a very practical podcast. And every single episode we visualize together, we set intentions together, we talk about intentional living, we talk about your next soul guided action steps, we reflect on where you've been and where you want to go, we raise our own vibration, we express gratitude, we do all the things. We play, oh gosh, do you know what? I didn't play my vision board today. I didn't look at the schedule for today, and I said, oh gosh, I'm gonna play that, but I have been playing it. And so I know what is on my vision board. So I will talk about that. But before I dive into the episode for the financial freedom, what I want to ask is, what do you think when financial freedom comes, when we say the words financial freedom, what comes to mind? Like, does it feel like expansive, or does it feel like restricting and constrictive? Or, do you have that figure like all figured out? Do you know what you would be contributing in your spiritual business as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a light worker, the difference that you're making in the world, how you would be doing that, how you would be packaging up your area of expertise and positioning, what your soul calling is, what are the things that you really want to do in the world that you would just like, you absolutely have to do that before it's your time up on this earthly plane, like this fair energy exchange. And that's what I want to talk about. That's, for me, the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast and the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. The spiritual business success is about contributing and then receiving financial freedom, and then having all of my life work and merge and be high vibe in between. Not always, because we have contrast. But the way that I've set this podcast up is to play the soul income game on a Sunday and make it fun, and think about money as a tool and as a game, and it's energy and it's an exchange. The same way that we find other things fun, we want to find money fun. Like, I love it. I love today, and we are going to play the soul income game. So the way that this episode and every single episode every day, as we set our soul's intentions, as we visualize, as we move into the energy of building our spiritual businesses as spiritual entrepreneurs, as light workers, as making our difference in the world, we want to come together in a really solid way, meaning that we want to feel like we are really a business owner, not just flaking around here, kind of like, yeah, I've got these gifts, know that I can add transformation to the world, but I kind of don't know how to speak to, how to serve, and how to sign up my high-paying soul clients, which, by the way, I have the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. We do it vibrationally first every single day here on the podcast, but also in my masterclass. So if you haven't joined it, it happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. And I will share with you how I speak to, serve, and sign up my high-paying one-to-many soul clients online, and how I've taught my students to do it, and how we do it in a way that feels really good. It's about being in service. So let me lay down and lay out the structure for today. In each segment, we're going to split this YouTube podcast in the Seven Freedoms Frequency. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, and welcome, do subscribe to the channel so you can vibe with me, raise your vibration daily. And if you're listening to this on a podcast or even the radio platform, then welcome. You can even leave a voice note on Spotify. How amazing is that? So let me know how you find it. So I have a book, The Millionaire Messenger, and I have several books that I'm going to refer to at the end of this podcast. I'm going to pull the card for today. Hopefully you didn't see that. On Keepers of the Light. That's like towards the end. So we're going to talk about raising our vibrational frequency. We're going to talk about visualization and vision boards. We're going to talk about gratitude, the 7 Freedoms Frequency Way. Hopefully you'll do that with me. So you're raising your vibration, I'm raising my vibration, and together we're raising the vibration of the collective. I'm going to talk about how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day, making sure that's in alignment with financial freedom. And then the next 3 action steps that you could take to increase and close that gap on your financial freedom, the next soul-guided action steps. And then I'm going to say, I'm doing it from memory now, see, and then I'm going to talk about the soul income game, talk about the book and the card for today. And then I'm going to invite you to a monthly call that I have for spiritual entrepreneurs to come and connect, continue on this conversation, but collaborate and cross promote and co-create, so we don't have to do this alone. I think one of the biggest things as an entrepreneur and as a spiritual entrepreneur, it can be a really lonely journey, especially when you don't know how to get your gifts out of you, like, and stop trading just time for money, and be of service in the world in a much bigger way, because we know that we're here to serve many more people. And you know, not knowing how to do that is very frustrating. I know this firsthand. So before I dive into all of that and we do our vibrational rating, I took some notes from a book that I have been reading, that I've come across, and I want to just share it, because I want to share every day the format of the podcast, but also what is going on for me, and what I'm doing and how I'm feeling, etc. So then I can support you. So you kind of get to know where I am. The soul income game, how we bank 50k in 50 days. I will share with you what I spent my vibrational money voucher on today. It's pretty lit. But I want to talk about a video that I was watching. Let me just bookmark this, like put my gratitude stone in here in my journal. So I want to talk about a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you know him, Stephen Bartlett. He's the Diary of a CEO guy. He has a YouTube podcast, right? And I watched a video yesterday. I shared it on my Facebook. I'm always watching YouTube. I'm just a YouTube girl, right? I don't know if you watch TV. I don't. I kind of choose. I watch Netflix every now and again, like a Netflix series I might get a little bit hooked into with my daughter or whatever. But primarily I watch YouTube. That's my TV. So I say this at the Soul Legacy TV because it's the things that we watch. And my audience usually watch more of YouTube and listen to podcasts than, the mainstream TV. And so I was watching this episode, and I've literally watched so many of his interviews because I have my interview series. And I've done it for years, but I'm just really inspired by people's stories and sharing their successes. But what happens on his podcast is that success doesn't always feel like success. You know, the success that we see, the fake success online. I'm going to talk about that with Jada Pinkett as well, the worthiness book, the worthy book. Anyway, so I've watched one of his videos. He's doing like a vlog. He started doing like vlogs and stuff, and he's done this podcast. It's got millions of subscribers on his YouTube channel. So you think, can it be done? Yeah. So he was launching his book, and I know I watched the video, and he said it was about 6 weeks out, a month and a half out from producing the video that released to launching the book. Already have launched the book. So I watched the video. I can't remember how long it was since it's been released, maybe a week or two, I don't know. But the book has already been released, and I knew that the book had been released because my soul daughter had shared with me that she'd bought his book, and I said, oh, I watched that guy. She's 20, 21, 22, 20, I think she just turned 22. And I said, I watch him, I watch his interviews. So he appeals to a wide varied audience, right? And so he was talking about his book launch, but my soul daughter had sent me like images, parts of his book, and I resonate with it. I haven't bought the book, actually. Maybe that's the next book that I'll buy. But anyway, he was sharing about his book tour, and I teach about building your author and your authority platform because that's what I'm doing myself. And so in this book launch, Diary of a CEO guy, Stephen Bartlett, if you typed it into YouTube, you'll find it, right? And he was sharing about this book tour that he does, and the traditional way to do a book tour. I will be taking my book on a virtual book tour. This is part of me sharing. All of this is like inside of my book, right? And so I won't like just stop, take it on a book tour, and then that's it. And he said that he was complaining really, and he said, you know, I don't like doing these interviews, these TV interviews and these radio interviews, because you have like a tiny little segment and you don't really get to say a lot, and blah blah blah. Where on his podcast is in person, and he has these guests come in person, either in the UK or in the US, and you know, they have a 2-hour conversation, so it's very different for him. And then he caught himself with like, oh, like how he was, you know, how he's thinking, how his train of thought. So he turned it round and he said, you know, I'm really grateful that I get to feature on these radio and this TV. And he'd sent out his book as part of his book launch. It took him about eight months or something, 8-10 months, 6 to 8 months from the idea to launch this book, and to do it in a way, a really unique way of sending gold boxes out to other influencers in that he's probably interviewed. He's probably sent it to every single person that he's interviewed, right? And you know, Mel Robbins was on one of them, and different people opening this box that he'd sent them, but it was like it had a lock on it. I saw somebody breaking the lock off, but anyway, he had this lock on it, and then he wanted him to post about it to their audience. That's the book launch, right? Getting the book awareness out there, being really creative. And then he said, you know, you've got to do whatever it is. And then he sent them the code for the padlock, and then he personalized their each gift kind of thing, and it had his book inside. And obviously it's going to have skyrocketed his sales. And his YouTube video said, bear in mind, this is financial freedom. He's a multi-millionaire, I believe. He's been on Dragon's Den. He's an investor. And he said that he spent 27,000 on this whole book launch. And then his reach to like influencers, you know, how much you'd pay to get a shout out by each of these influencers, was 1.2 or 1.3 million. He is like a multi-millionaire, whatever, you know, wealthy, and he's still thinking of really creative ideas. But he's gifted people things to promote his book, and we might not always be in the position, but he's also spent his time. And that's why I wanted to kind of just say that, you know, I'm teaching, and what I will be doing is putting in the skin in the game and sharing about the book. So many people think that to get a #1 bestseller, my book is the #1 best seller on in launch week. It hit #1 in 7 categories in 7 days, and it's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch: A Soul Guided Influencers Compass to Leverage Your Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. One of the things that Stephen said on his video when he was being interviewed, somebody said, "How do you feel? How do you feel today?" And he said, and it was Rich Roll, and he said, and he has a podcast as well, and he said, and I love conversations, right? And he said, you always ask everybody how they are on your podcast, so that's why I wanted to ask you how you are. And initially he said, I'm good, I'm fine, thank you. And then he said, well, in that context, actually I feel really overextended. I've got drive, a lot of drive and a lot of ambition, but I feel like I'm overextending myself. And he has that costs him in his life something. He's letting someone down somewhere, and it's that juggling. And he said that consistency and basically that balance that he hasn't got. And I'm like, no matter what, no matter what happens, when you're building your business and you're building your life, especially when you think that success is going to come with, you know, I've got this level of money, this financial freedom, is it going to solve all of the problems? It's absolutely not. And so the way that I've built my business, the Soul Legacy Academy, is to create a business model, and I've scheduled it out for 7 years. And if things don't like fit into that model, I'm not doing it. So I'm showing up every day, having a conversation, right? This is about me. This is about my lifestyle. And my light work and having that balance and just being able to just say, you know what, I can share an hour of my journaling process in the Soul Legacy Journal at the Soul Legacy TV, and then inspire you to create your book with your companion journal so your guys get more value out of your books, and you're creating a video and you're creating your marketing, you're packaging up your stuff. It's just like, oh, wow. So yes, contribute, yes, receive financial freedom, but what about all the things in between? What about the health freedom for the 7 freedoms frequency? So on Mondays, we talk about contribution. That's a big contribution that he made, but we don't want to make it at the expense of ourselves, right? Contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. And so it's all of the freedoms. I want to vibrate at that frequency, because when you are overextending yourself, as Stephen Bartlett says, it doesn't make you feel good. And then you spiral. And I'm not saying he is spiraling, but I'm just saying that be intentional about the level of contribution that you're willing to make and the financial freedom and how you can leverage that. So I am going to have some teaching in my community for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, which I'm the producer of. And in that community, it's for YouTube podcasting partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs who have a movement. And I'm going to be creating some training on how to start a spiritual biz YouTube podcast and make money, a workshop in that. And I'm going to be talking about the passive income, the leveraged income, the recurring income, the subscription and membership income, and your active income, right? And affiliate income. Because you, excuse me, with it being Financial Freedom Sunday, you definitely want to be thinking about your financial freedom goals, about your monthly goals, your yearly goals. And I didn't want to do it in a way that burnt me out. And I didn't want to do it in a way that just traded time for money. I wanted to build the business model that I wanted for the rest of my life. And it took a lot of work. It's taken a lot of work, and it's taken sacrifices in the sense of, you know, even people thinking that I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, you do you, boo. And I will do me, because if you're not working towards something that is giving you the freedom along the way, but giving you freedom and financial freedom, right? Because when people say about passive income streams, leveraged income streams, like, it's not like created just like that overnight. It's not, because you're taking your area of expertise and taking it out of you and birthing it in the world, and it takes time. I'm not someone that says you can do it yesterday, right? A lot of people will, and a lot of people are disappointed by it, but is it worth it? So if you think of people that, you know, working 9 to 5, and they're working nights, or they're doing whatever, and they've been doing it for the last 10 years and not working on a passive income stream, can you do that side by side? I know all of the time that I've put in transpire the business model. It's a $1 million a year idea, and that business model, and it can come in and it can come in and it can come in fast. But people don't understand that. People think that where you followed the traditional model of trading time for money or doing whatever it is, don't understand that, because that's not what we're taught in school. We're taught, I was having an email conversation with my ex that I was with for 7 years, and 7.5 years, whatever that was. And he was saying, you know, he'd been away, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. He's like, yeah, you know, that because I've got a better job, and it you know, it's paying me better, and that's the way to do it. So he's been able to get a week away. And I said, oh, that's really nice. And he said, you know, hopefully you'll be able to travel a little bit. And I'm like, I'd like to travel to different places, vision board, building the lifestyle. I said, then the idea is to not have a ceiling on my income. He goes, yeah, that's the way to do it, but I just am going to stick to what I know best. Being in that relationship at the time, not having that understanding. Now more people, like since lockdown and different things, understand working from home, and they really want to travel even more. But when I started this, I was in a situation, in a relationship, where I didn't have that support. I didn't have that understanding. So I was like out there figuring all these things out, looking and feeling like a crazy lady. Now he gets it, but this is years ago since we split. It must be 7 years ago as well since we split. But it's really great for me to be doing what I'm doing, even when people think that, I'm crazy, people still think that I'm a crazy lady, and I'm good with that. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you've got those ideas, the ideas are only great when they come to fruition to other people. They're not great necessarily along the way. And that's why I created the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, so that we can come together. And, people that are geniuses, they're a genius when they've gone, right? People want to put people in psychiatric, whatever, But I'm here to say that it is possible. And it's amazing when you have a student enroll in your online training portal and you don't have to be there. You're like, here's the link. I did that today as bonus gifts. I recorded yesterday, and I sent students out like, here you go, here's another bonus training, because I love delivering like more value. And I'm like, here you go. It was a training that I'd re-recorded for videos that support my one-page plan. And it's lovely. It's like, do the work once, and then it serves people from all over the world, from whatever time zone they're in, if they want to watch it. If they don't watch it, then they don't get value. But if they do watch it, they get that value. And you've spoken to, it's like you're speaking to individuals. So you're not trading your time for money, you're duplicating yourself. So as many students as I have, they can watch that video over and 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 over again. So it's just, not trading time for money is just like weird if you don't know. But as a spiritual entrepreneur, I'm sure you have an idea for your business where you actually want to make a difference, and you don't want to be burnt out, and you do want to, package up your knowledge into a book or a course or a VIP day or whatever that is, or a workshop. So I want to support you in doing that. So the other thing that I want to just mention before we go in to the episode and the different segments is, I don't know if you've watched it or if you've seen or you've bought the book or what have you, but I want to talk about this because I bought it yesterday, the Jada Pinkett book, Worthy. Not because it's her life, just the concept Worthy, because I know I didn't feel worthy. I've got an arrow on that bookshelf that says I'm not worthy. And it's a belief that I broke through, oh my God, 11 years ago. When I went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive, and I won't tell you exactly how I did it because they say don't tell everybody, but I did, and I broke through. It was very dramatic. It was very like shocking. It was an exercise that some people actually didn't do. But I did that, and I had that same feeling. So if you have that same feeling, like, oh, you're not worthy of building a business, you're not worthy of not trading time for money, you're not worthy of, you haven't got that self-love, and you don't believe in yourself. I know when I first started on this journey and I started to read books, one of the best books that I've read is The Magic of Believing by Claude D. Bristol. And I wanted everyone to believe in me. And I realized that I didn't believe in myself at the time. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You might need a community around you that get you and can hold space for you, but you don't need everybody to believe in you. And the way that I teach you to build your business with your soul clients is to just launch and start from where you are and not need to be further along the journey than where you are, if that makes sense. The guy was doing another YouTuber. He's got, I don't know, 1 million and something views, maybe nearly 2 million subscribers. And he did a 5-day challenge, and he was talking about the Lightworkers way, the Lightworkers pathway to prosperity. And he was saying about, you position yourself where you are, and you support someone where you are, the people that are behind you. I'm always saying this, not the people that are in front of you, because you feel like a fraud, you feel like a fake. So I always think that when somebody comes to you, speak, and you have a conversation, and the way that we do that, and the way that money comes, that financial freedom, it comes through having conversations, it comes through people. And if you're not sure how to align your movement, your message, and your money, then we'll share that with you on the masterclass, because I think that's one of the biggest things. And the book that I'm going to refer to at the end of this episode is The Millionaire Messenger. I've learned and I've read a lot of books along the way and trial and error and been through things. So Worthy, whether you agree with the story or not, that's not my point or my business. And I had watched the Red Table Talk, really enjoyed the Red Table Talk and Jada and Will's seeming relationship. And I was with my ex, my twin flame, and we really enjoyed Will's book, and he got Will's book. I listened to Will's book, and now whatever has gone on, it's like, oh, that fake. When you feel like you've got to be fake online, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here, not as a direct decision from that, but I can't stand that. That's just one of the things that irks me. Like, you don't have to be someone else other than who you're not, like other than who you are. Like, don't try and be, because it doesn't work, and the truth comes out eventually. So speaking about financial freedom and Jada sharing her journey, I watched lots of interviews, and I was like, I had mentioned that I'd come back to where I'm staying, and my friend had got the book, and I was like, should I get the book? I'm like, no, I don't think I like reading it. It's a really thick book. And then last night I was just laying, and I was like, I was going to go to sleep, and something said, that nudge, that's something, that's all guidance, it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday, get the book. So I went on to Audible, which I paused my Audible ages ago, well, a couple months ago. So many books on there, just listening to them, listening to a chapter or two each day. And I got a free trial. So the book came in, the idea, didn't go out and buy the paperback. I got a free trial, and I got the book for free, essentially. I spent a credit. I started listening to it. Apparently, I was listening to it all night and can't remember a thing. I just left it playing. So I listened to some this morning, and this whole concept of Jada again talking about not feeling loved, not feeling worthy. When you have that level of success, so I'm teaching about spiritual business success and your contribution in the world. What we don't want to get to is a point where you're contributing and you feel that way. So the idea of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, and to know what success means to you, if you actually ask yourself, what does success mean to me, then hopefully you're not going to be in that position where you're really unhappy for a really long time. And there'll be many different reasons why. One of the reasons that Jada mentions is that Will having his success and kind of just getting dragged along with that. And I can resonate with that, actually, thinking about my relationship with my twin flame, and him probably thinking, oh, well, this is Iona's like path, and I'm going to get dragged onto it. And it didn't resonate. When somebody makes you believe, oh, they're in alignment, and we set intentions and we wanted to have work-life balance, it's like, oh, let's create this life together, we want to do this, we've got a similar vision, turns out not. And sometimes people suffer behind closed doors, and I'm just really happy and grateful that I decided to end that relationship, because I felt that. So whatever she probably felt, like, I felt that. And I'm like, there are so many of us behind closed doors not staying true to ourselves and living a lie and building this brand online. Another couple is Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis, and I was really shocked. We'd followed those two as well for a little while, the couples goals that people do. I didn't really think of it like as couples goals, just resonated with couples. And again, not happy and split, and then rest in peace. I found out only a couple of weeks ago that Dave Hollis had passed, and he had drugs and stuff in his system. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So really, this living an intentional life and being here with you is for real. Like, I am so happy and grateful that I've scheduled the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast out, and I'm showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. My daughter's messaging me. Serving deep every single day. I'm committed to that. I'm committed to my own success. I'm committed to staying grounded. I'm committed to you knowing me and who I am, and to sharing who I am daily, so I remember who I am. Do you know what I mean? It's not success when you're being dragged along. And so Jada was talking about her, I believe it's an awakening through ayahuasca. I've not ever used it. Don't know what it's like, whatever. Some people find it, I've heard that some people find it great, some people don't. but she said the universe had intervened, right? And so she heard about it, you know, being in Peru, and she's like, oh, well, do I have to travel to Peru? And then she found that on her doorstep, like 15 minutes away. And I love that. She talks about having the fame and the fortune, and on paper, it looking like, you know, life is just absolutely amazing, and it not being. So I want you to be really mindful of when you're setting intentions and you're living an intentional life, being raw and real with your audience, because there's a lot of people who are in her audience now, and in when Rachel Hollis was going through her stuff, where people like want answers. People feel cheated. People feel like do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you've got something big going on or what have you, but just, you know, when you feel like, oh, I can't be me because nobody would like me, or nobody would, my soul clients, they're soul clients, so you have a soul contract, and having that financial freedom is okay for being in service. It is okay to just be you and package up what you know, and we'll talk about that more towards the end. So let's dive into the episode, the framework of rating your vibrational frequency between a 1 and 11. And I was off out on my travels through the week, and I did say that I went to go stay with a friend, that soulmate connection. So and I had like pieces of paper, and I didn't bring them with me. He's like, do you need them? I'm like, no, it's cool. And I can't remember what I rated. I think I rated all 11s this week, which means, and it's an 11 today, so which means that when you rate your vibrational frequency, you rate between a 1 and an 11 daily, right? And I know from like hearing the book from what Jada, I think she was just miserable for years, like 2 decades of suffering, like absolutely crazy. And you know, when you just go live and then you just start getting messages. All right, so you know, we're rating our vibrational frequency, how we feel, having that connection and that higher self. And that's what saved Jada in the end. She said, you know, that connection, that's what it is. And I'm like, oh, I love that. Just feeling happy and feeling at peace and being guided is like amazing. So rate your vibrational frequency between a 1 and 11. So if you rate between a 1 and 11, when you add all of your frequencies up for the week, it could be between 7 and 77, right? So mine is 77 this week, I believe. So I could go back and see, or is there any that dipped? I don't think so. I felt really, really amazing. I had a really great energy reset, mostly because I'm fasting and eating in a fasting window. I think that's mostly it, but I just feel really, 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 really great. So mine is 77. Now, whatever yours is, if you want to play this game with me, you want to, you know, you can journal anyway, whether you're here with me on live or on the replay. And hopefully you'll find value in just checking in with yourself. And I say it's about that feeling of feeling in self-funk versus self-flow. And we know when we're feeling self-funk, like we're hiding behind closed doors, feeling awful and not wanting to. And one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go live. Like I could record a video, and I may sometimes if I'm doing something else, whatever, but I want to show up. I want to speak out, and I want to serve deep for me. Like it's Sunday, and I know that some people say, oh, you know, I'm not doing anything on Sunday, it's work, but it's my work, daily practices. Anyone, anywhere in the world will tell you that their life changed when they did something, not necessarily live, but they did something consistently and did it daily. Like, what do you want your life to look and feel like? So rate it. North Star, that soul guidance in alignment. All right. So some people use the wheel of life to rate between a 0 and a 10 to see how fulfilled they are. But for me, that is looking at the external, right? As some people do. We just talked about that external being pushed and pulled by it. And it's that internal feeling. No matter if chaos looks like it's unfolding, because often chaos will look like it's unfolding when your vibration is raising or when you're releasing beliefs. Yeah, so the external and the internal is different, how you feel. So that is our vibrational frequency. Note it down, add all of them up every Sunday. and see how you feel. See how you feel about how you feel, or if any areas dipped, is there somewhere that you need to feel into? Next segment is vision board. So I have a 7-day spiritual business vision board challenge for spiritual entrepreneurs, light workers, to help you with that life work balance and help you to put things into perspective. Or if something doesn't feel good, or something feels off, say your relationship feels off, but it's bleeding into every other area of your life, or your health's off, and then do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a friend, and she was saying to me today about, like, she has a health condition. I won't say what it is, but a health condition, and she's like, I want to like reverse this. And so what I know about nutrition and juicing and doing different things is like, right, this is what I heard. Where did I go? YouTube. And people offering their knowledge for free in their journey, and what's worked for them and what's not worked for them, and blah blah blah. So I sent her a bunch. I watched them, sent her a bunch, and the fat, sick and nearly dead. My ex and I were twin flame, and he showed me that video actually. And so I sent her that. I passed on. Somebody packaged up their knowledge, filmed it, did a video, made it free, and then we could pass it on. That's it. You know, we pass on our knowledge. So hopefully that will help her out. But she's at that place where she's financially good. She's got the environment. She's got her home. She's done so amazing, and she's got the most amazing relationships and all things. And she's contributing the way that she really wants to. But the health, like, if you don't have that, like, it's not the best. And I want more than that for you. Like, if you know of anyone who is experiencing that and they don't have the life work balance, they're not eating the way that they should be eating, because it's what we put into our bodies as well, how we're feeling and what we're putting into our bodies, that consumption, and the environments that we're in, it all impacts. And I'm not like a qualified health professional on those things, but it's just, again, sharing what I know on my journey. Like, you know, that's the disclaimer. We can only share what we know. We've both got qualifications, and we've both qualified as a life coach. So, you know, she takes whatever she wants and then leaves the rest. But I care. But I don't have to be the expert in it. Do you know what I mean? It's just what's on your vision board when you break down your life and you look at your contribution, then you look at your health, and you look at your emotions, you look at your environmental freedom, you look at your relationships, you look at your spirituality and your finances, and you plan out how you are going to contribute and receive the financial freedom and have all of the things in between. Like, if it's slower, which it probably is for me, a slower journey, I don't care. Like, I would rather have a slower and steady journey and stay true to me and love me along the way, because I do. I like me. I love me as a person, you know. I'm a kind person, and, you know, I've been on a journey where I've overcome a lot of things, and, you know, I like to be generous. I like to be thoughtful. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. But it's about who you be. Do you know what I mean? It's not, that contribution is massive. Like, serving is massive for me. Regardless of the financial freedom, I'm good with having both and welcoming in both and building a business for both, but not building something that is fake, that you get trapped in, which obviously many people do, even when we're looking at the celebrities and the big iconic figures at a way to model life. It's fake. It's not everyone, obviously, but, you know, a lot of it's done for the camera, the reality TV that's not really reality, you know. Just create your own vision board, have your relationship with the universe, and done. That's what I say. So do the 7-day spiritual vision board challenge. I've been told my students love it, absolutely love it. They're like, oh gosh, you know, I've done a vision board before, but not like this one. And we go in, we go deep, we go all in, and we spend 7 days together. It's free. And then this 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is my way of following up from that and soul speaking into existence. It feels amazing just showing up every day, little things. You know, have you heard where, is it Tiger Woods? Well, whoever it is that would be golfing, right? And I think it's Tony Robbins that says it, that just that little, like, that minute direction change on that golf ball is going to send it completely in a different trajectory, going to send it in a completely different direction. Just a little bit of a move here at this point, sent just as you travel along, it just makes such a big difference further along. So just that vibration shift, which doesn't feel like a great thing every single day. I'm showing up every single day, you know, and it's like, oh gosh, one day, another day, and another day, another day. It's not like that for me. I love it. And does it make the greatest impact every single day? Maybe, maybe not. But it does it to me and my energy? Absolutely. And I'm following through. And I think that one of the biggest things that I notice is that we don't always follow through. We get fads and get ideas and they seem amazing. And do I drop off? Yes, I do. I'm not saying I don't, but you know, the consistency and being aware and admitting it to yourself and not burying it, hiding behind closed doors, pretending that you're not, is huge. Do you know what I mean? It's huge. So have your vision board, commit to it. And I think that's one of the things, you know, having that fear of success, and then that fear of failing. And part of the pathway to success is failing, right? I'm going to be doing an interview tomorrow called Awakening to Your Soul Path with Barbara. And I'm going to talk about failure because I don't think we talk about it enough. All right, so that's your vision board. Play your vision board, the video montage of it daily, and just bask in the energy of it. Know that if you have a vision, if you've been given a vision, you can achieve it. That's what it said. Even when you look back from years ago, like you had some stuff that you were just like, oh, I really want to do this. And then all of a sudden it's done. If you look back at your own life, there's goals, there's bucket list items, there's things that you wanted to do and you've achieved them. It's no different. It's no different. And if it feels really big and massive, just bring it down a notch. Like, what's the step to get you there? What's this step to get you there? You know? So let's talk about gratitude, the 7 Freedoms frequency way. I have my little gratitude stone. It's a love heart. And I like to say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. I say all three because I am. And that's that feeling of that happiness. Like, what is the point if you're not happy and you're not grateful and you're not appreciating anything? Like, why live another day like that? As Jada had said, you know, it just wanting life doesn't feel like worth living. And it's hard sometimes to, you know, when stuff's going on for you in whatever area. But we still have to get back to that gratitude and that appreciation and that happiness, because that's our purpose, I believe. It says on here, the card, Divine Director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Have that on there every single day. Being guided by the keepers of the light. It always reminds me of my son. And so that's there every single day. Happiness is your purpose. And if I can support you in that, then great. So I like to think of the things that you're grateful for in the past, the present, and the predicted future. So I will do my gratitude and relate it to the 7 Freedoms frequency, okay? And soul clients and financial freedom as well. We'll bring that in. So in terms of contribution, I'm happy and I'm grateful. I appreciate being able to contribute once and being able to duplicate myself. So I can record something once and then hundreds, thousands, whatever people can watch it. I love that. I'm really happy and grateful and appreciate that. I can just, and I feel good about doing the recording, and I feel good about my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. I feel happy and grateful and appreciate the health. I've had a really good night sleep, although I remember waking up, but I just, and listening to the book and then I'm going back to sleep, it helped me sleep longer. I didn't wake up until like 7, and that's really rare to me, really rare for me. So I'm happy and grateful, and I really appreciate a good night's sleep. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate sharing laughter and jokes. I've shared a lot of laughter and jokes. My friend and I, we were laughing. I was talking about doing the sage yesterday and doing this, and then we watched, because I videoed it and we watched it after, and we just laughed. We just laughed, just making things fun. I love having things be fun. That's one of my biggest values. And that's what I talk about every single day, setting the intentions, living in alignment with your vision, your values and your vibration. I talk about it more on the Vision Board Challenge. So I'm happy and grateful for laughter. Like, really am. I like to find the fun in things. I'm happy and grateful, excuse me, and appreciate my environment. It's clean now. It wasn't when I'd gone off traveling for like a couple of days. As I say traveling, I went and stayed with a friend, came and picked me up and went there and came back and emptied my suitcase, and it was your girl, it was a mess. And I was fine with it because I'm like, okay, it's confined, it's a small space. I'm like, this space needs to be clean and tidy in order for my vibration to be high. But I was fine with it. And then I did it yesterday and it feels really good. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment and the cleanliness and the routine of that. Happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. Oh gosh, relationships keep popping in and out of my world. Yeah, like to get those confirmations. You know, when they say that people will show up, and the people, the things, and the tools and the resources, that, like, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate all of my relationships, actually. Yeah, all of them. It's lovely. It's really nice. I'm at a place where I just feel peace, you know. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate gratitude. My gratitude brought my spiritual practice. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I got Jade to listen to Jade's book after I've been watching interviews and stuff. And I got it for free. Like, I didn't have to put any money down. I spent a credit technically, and if I continue on with the Audible, and then I would pay for it, but I probably won't because I just said, oh, you know, I'm not going. I've got so many books on Audible. I really want to just marinate in them, and I've chosen like 7 books throughout the week. So I'm really happy and grateful for that because it was unexpected. I was nudged and I was nudged to do it. So that's our gratitude. Expressing gratitude. Do you express gratitude? Do you write it down? Do you know what? When I do that, I do that, and that's my left hand. I don't even write with my left hand. I write with my right hand. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Anyway, do you write down in your journal? Hope that you do. So let's move into the next segment. How do you launch your day? How do you lead your day? And how do you leave your day? In terms of finances, so with the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, we've brought all of the areas into your life for more work-life balance. But how do you launch your day? So throughout this week on this podcast, we've talked about how you contribute, how you want to bring that into your morning, your afternoon, how you're leading your day and leaving your day in terms of your health, in terms of your emotions, in terms of your environment, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your spirituality. Now it's time for your finances. So if you're contributing, like, how are you earning? Are you working a job? Are you working in your business? What are you doing in terms of spending your time in order to have that fair energy exchange? Are you working on your business? Are you writing a course? Are you doing the things that, what do they say, that are income generating activities? If you're not doing an income generating activity in your business and you're just doing busy work, then when are you going to do the income generating activities in your day? I'm just saying, like, when are you going to make an offering? Ouch. When are you gonna like, you know, ask somebody if they want to? Do you have I call an enrollment spot in your business? Do you have, like, so for me to invite you to the 7 Freedoms, to the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, that's my enrollment spot for me to say, you know, come on, buy my book. That's an income generating activity. Like, this can be an income generating activity because I'm connecting with you, speaking, and it's like, come to the monthly call, come to blah 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 blah. Inviting people into my world and onto a call, whether that is the free monthly call, whether it's a masterclass call, whether it's a one-on-one call, I know that can potentially lead to earning. Do you get what I mean? So, like, there's certain things that people are doing that have no correlation whatsoever. Like, scrolling on Facebook or posting in the name of I've got a business is not an income generating task. It's not. If you never speak to anyone in a whole entire week to enroll them or to connect with different people or what have you, bring new people into your world, is not an income generating task. It's not. Just saying. Like, where is your enrollment spot? Where do people sign up? Passively or with you? Where is it? Do you have that in your day? Doing the bank 50k in 50 days, we absolutely do that. So just saying. All right. So next step is the 3 things that you can do to increase that. So what are the things that you know that you should be doing? If you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, get to it on that 1-page plan. And the 1-page plan I share on the masterclass, and show you what's involved in the stages that you are in your business, your marketing stages and your enrollment spot, and then working on the back end of your business. And do you have the back end of your business all done and dusted? And can somebody actually go sign up with you? So you can go to the Soul Legacy Academy and go to my 5-day challenge. It's $55. You can go to the Soul Legacy Academy and purchase my bootcamp, the Soul Legacy Blueprint Author and Authority Media Program, and become a co-author in my co-author book series. That's on the site. You cannot go to the site and get into my mastermind, but you can come to the masterclass and inquire, and then you can come to be in the masterclass. It's $5,555 that are payment plans. I've got a 50th year offer right now. So if you come to the masterclass on the last Monday of the month, then I'll let you know what that is. I'm not going to announce it out here, just not, because I'm just not. So yeah. So can you earn, basically, when you make an offering? So if I was to send you 1,000 soul clients today, could you bank 50k in 50 days? Could you bank 50k today? I could, and I love that. I could. There's a button there. Sent me 1,000 people. Sent me 9 people for my mastermind. That'd be 50k for me. Like, there's the button. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, that's amazing. Without the offer, obviously. But that's a bit. So financial freedom. What does financial freedom mean to you? What do you need to put in place? Do you need to take out your knowledge and package it up into the back end of your business? Do you need a model? And I love the model of not outpricing people. So if somebody doesn't have 5k to invest or what have you, and can't come on retreat, then I can say, here's a payment plan. You can get started for $55. You can actually get started for $7.77 with the Vision Board Challenge upgrade and do the homework with me. Actually, as passive income streams, how many passive income streams or leveraged income streams do you have? I'm going to lay mine out now for the financial freedom. So I've got my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, your Soul Guided Influencers Compass, to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. That's $5.55. If you've got a book, like, how much is your book? Like, write it down. Like, I do mine in angel numbers because I love it. I'm actually writing down because I've added income streams and I have my numbers. So as of today, I'm writing down, and then I know, and then I'll mark this day. Let me just do it on a clean piece of paper. So my book is, because I teach to create soul client income streams, and then I kind of just forget myself. And then I've got $7.77 for the Vision Board Challenge. Vision Board, I'm writing them down. And then I've got $55 for my 5-day. And then we've got $77 per month, which I gift my students. So I have this 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, and then I gift my students. You can get it as standalone, but I gift my students $77 per month worth of coaching, a 2-hour monthly coaching call that takes these 7 freedoms and has a call-in gym about them. I love that. So you're monetizing your podcast, essentially. So that's $77 per month. I've got $111 as and when you want to, as a recurring income stream, to upgrade my 5-day challenge or my bootcamp or masterminders get it. What else have I got? Then the $555 bootcamp, which is, again, passive income streams. So the book, the Vision Board, the 5-day are passive income streams, and the bootcamp. And then the leverage income streams or recurring income streams are the $77 and the $111. And then I've got $5,555. There is a 15k VIP day, but I usually gift it to masterminders. And then I will have more for my retreat, my writer's retreat, and then I will have a Soul Guided Millionaire. I am Diamond Made, Soul Guided Millionaires in the making, and then I will have Diamond Made Billionaires in the making. So for that, there will be a different, and I think it's going to be 33k. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Can't remember what else I've got. But anyway, that's financial freedom, and it's done in a way that's on my one-page plan that feels really good. It's done in a way where all of the things just go into the other things, and I've got training that is worth that I could sell, but I don't. And I've got a lot of training. I've just done another training which is valued at $222, and I've got so many of them that I stack onto the price and the bonus of whatever I ask anyone to ever pay. I offer 10 times the value, and then I feel really good about financial freedom. Make sure that this is not going to pop out. So do you have your... I've still got work to do for my mastermind. To be fair, I've got some recordings and stuff to do, but like, wow, there's a lot of bonuses, and I haven't even added up all my bonuses of late, which I will do for my masterclass, I think. It helps. Energetically, it's just energy, right? I'm going to pull that out because I actually did that on my journal. Eek. Let's see what we've got left, because we've got, let's see. I'm looking. The soul income game, let's do that. So the Bank 50k in 50 days challenge, which is perfect actually, because when we're doing this vibrational money, and the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. It's special. My students get a voucher. There's an image of a voucher. I haven't printed it out. And to visualize and use that, right? And it says banking 50k in 50 days. And so when you're doing that, what you're doing is visualizing, yes, it's giving you money, but look, how many of your whatever it is that you've got do you need to enroll students on or sell in order to get that 1,000 in your business for real? Like, that's what I teach you, to build the spiritual business model that has that money being able to come in. When you think, oh God, when you actually do the maths, when I do the maths with my students, or I get them to do it on an intake form, they're like, oh, that's not actually that much. And when they're thinking, oh, well, this $55 product has 900 of them, they're like, it's not that many. Try and go out there and do that. It's a lot. So we go with the different price points and then serve people, but we focus on the higher one. So with the soul income game, there are rules. So we have we want to come from the space where our bills are taken care of. We are not saving, because everything's saved and we're always taken care of, but we tithe 10% to a worthy cause every single day. So $100, right? So I tithe 10% to a worthy cause, Compassionate Friends, which is a charity that I will become part of and run a group, online group, and an in-person group in Stratford quarterly. And it's for bereaved parents, because I am one. So I dedicate my work to my son. I do have my daughter, and he has my beautiful granddaughter left behind for us. So that's a really worthy cause. What is your worthy cause? I also am involved after fostering for a year, kinship fostering. Fostering's been in my mind for years. A charity around that. So I will split those donations, and then, you know, as my income comes in, and I set the intention as I release our co-author book series, which is launching on the 6th of May, depending on how many co-authors we have in there. That the proceeds to that would go to the kinship foster caring. And so I've got this tithing here, and the proceeds for the book would go to the kinship foster caring, because that's the last spiritual awakening that I went through burnout. It was rude. So that's the soul income game. So what I say is, every single day, spend the 900 on whatever it is that you want to spend it on. And if you don't want to spend it every day, or if something comes up, you're like, yeah, I can get that. I do it on my vibrational money, with my vibrational money voucher. So if you do your vision board, and you've ever done a vision board and you're like, I don't have the money to buy all these things on my vision board, and you feel that sense of lack, that poverty consciousness, this is a way to purchase the things on your vision board and experience them. Like, visualize them. The brain doesn't know any different. Like, shh, don't tell it. It doesn't know any different. So you were experiencing it. I'm sure that you've done this. Some people say, oh, I'm rubbish at visualizing. But I always end up just closing my eyes. And I do it on this live, close my eyes. And I see myself experiencing some of the favorite things, that feeling that you want to have. And the universe must deliver it. That's the universal law, right? It must deliver it. So visualize the things that are on your vision board and spend them, go out. And so I say that I will share what I spent my vibrational money on every single Sunday. And here's today. And so what I actually bought was a 7-night trip to Dubai for my daughter. And it's her 21st birthday. And in January, it's her 21st birthday. And so I got a hotel, a 5 hotel it's called. It's a luxury hotel with jacuzzi and spa. And so it's like sitting in that jacuzzi and visualizing just, us all talking and having a drink and just having a laugh, and like seeing her, what she's wearing, seeing her walk on the promenade, seeing the swimming pools, seeing me, seeing the bedrooms, visualizing us pulling off the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like being in the kitchen, cooking, chatting away. By seeing that, so I went on to Airbnb, and because I've visualized on Airbnb, and then when I created my vision board in July, I had put on there Amsterdam, and I'd put on there another place. Like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go away for a few days after I'd given up my home. And instantly it manifested. Amsterdam manifested. I visualized like seeing a bicycle around Amsterdam. And me and my daughter actually did that. We went around, and not knowing how many bicycles there are in Amsterdam, a lot. And I was trying to find this exact bicycle. We probably did find it, probably in one of the pictures. This exact bicycle in Amsterdam, like on this bridge and stuff. There was just loads. We just had so much fun doing it. But I visualized being next to this bicycle, and there's a picture of me and my daughter like standing there next to the bridge with the black bike in Amsterdam. Do you know what I mean? And it happened like it was 24th of July, 24th, and it was 7 days. And so that was Environmental Freedom Thursday. So 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th of July. By the 1st of August, I was there. And it's like, oh, my daughter had arranged it and I didn't know. So that was pretty cool. And then I had gone to, I was like, I just need a few days, and it was a barn conversion. I came across this, and again, and I was there, I think it was the 9th, I can't remember, a few days, 3 days, from the 6th to the 9th. And I'm like, oh, so I'm good at looking on. And then I was sharing in my training today on my Facebook, my ex and I, my twin flame and I, we had looked at different places that we wanted to go to, and we'd looked at barn conversions, and we ended up spending a night in a barn conversion. And then I'd gone to, it was around my birthday, partying in Leeds, and it was another Airbnb. So like when we got to those places, the images that I'd seen on the Airbnb, I replicated with me in it. So there was books on the bookshelf, I replicated them. The bedside stand or the sofa, I replicated me in that, so now it's easier for me to feel that way, like when I see a picture, to put myself in it. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's such a great. And then Google Earth it, like, so you're actually feeling, like when you really go traveling and you Google it, oh, it's just amazing. So I got it for a good price. I didn't actually spend all of my vibrational money voucher, which if you don't spend it, you snooze, you lose. I've still got time. And I went to go spend it on flights, but I'm going to have to spend the flights next week, and that's fine. I got travel insurance. What else? I got the times. I like the times of the day to travel. That it just thinking about, going to the airport, and, because when you've already done those things, if you haven't, then that's okay. But as you do it, it'll get easier. So yeah, that's my 7 night in Dubai is on my bucket list, because I think so. I think it's on my vision board. But even if it's not, it doesn't matter. You can create a new vision, like travel, and Airbnb is on my vision board. And my daughter said, Mama, I want to go to Dubai. And I'm like, make that happen. So when it happens, I'll tick it off, and you heard it here first. No pressure. It's like, now, okay, you're motivated, do the work. You've got to match what you're speaking. Like, oh yeah, the universe it'll show me the way. I've visualized it. That's fantastic. But if I just visualized and sat here as a spiritual entrepreneur with a business and I didn't ever offer any of my services, so if I had 2 full pays on my mastermind, we can go. Do you know what I mean? We can go. So it's that. It's not just hoping and wishing for a thing. It's, well, I've got this business, and like, how is this going to afford me the lifestyle? Shut my mouth. I'm like, I'm done now. We're not done. Hang on. I'm done with it, because I've done the soul income game. What's next? The book. Okay, the book, and then the card, and then I'm going to invite you to come into my world. All right. So I'll do the card first. This is a card from a card deck called Keepers of the Light by Kyle Grays. Archangel Michael. Trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. And I'm thinking, do I have concerns? And I'm like, no. And I thought, well, actually, yeah, I do. I have concern, because I've given up my home. Essentially, I don't have a home. And, I'm building my business, and, it's great and all the things. But yeah, there are concerns like that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that I had concerns. There's little niggles, I suppose. And it's for me to clear that and trust in heaven. You are safe, and knowing that I am safe, no matter what, no matter where I am, what happens, I am safe, because it is trusting. It's leaning into that vision and trusting that will happen. And the only person that can trust is you. Like, I can't give you that trust. You can't give me that trust. Oh yeah, trust in yourself. You've got to do it. You've got to show up, speak out, and serve deep. And there is a level of trust and faith in taking that leap of faith. And nobody really gets it unless they've done it. Do you know what I mean? But you're safe. Angels stand close. I was going to say, thank goodness, like a relief. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So I will have that around me today, and maybe read that like as an affirmation, because it's huge. And when I'd gone away for a few days, and I'd said to my friend, he'd mentioned something, and I was like, you know what, like, it hasn't been easy. And I was emotional, I was hormonal, and I said, this hasn't been easy for me. It looks easy, it looks what have you, but it has been a trusting process. And I think that shook me a little bit in that moment, and I let it out. I let the tears, and I let the what have you. But thinking about it, so it's like, yeah, because it's a big hairy deal. So what I want to do is share the Millionaire Messenger, and I shared it last Sunday, I believe I did. The chapter 3 is where I got up to, and you can't even see it. I'm showing it on the I'm showing it on the YouTube channel, and it's because the sun is shining. Oh, never mind. Hang on. I'm determined. The expect calling and lifestyle. And I'll read a little bit. It says, in the coming chat, this is by a book called by Brendan Burchard. It says, and I read a book or listen to a book every single day, sometimes several. And the other one that I was going to listen to, I'm like, no, it was on my shelf. I was like, oh, this is the one. And the Millionaire Mind Intensive Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I love his work, and I love his book. And I wanted to go, I'm in London, so I wanted to go to the Millionaire Mind in person, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And so I'm like, and I just did the hybrid last month, I think it was. And I'm like, I don't really want to do the hybrid again. I want to do it in person. I know what it feels like to do it in person. And then I just purchased the hybrid, because I'm like, well, just in case, like, I probably will do the hybrid. But anyway, so that's another book that I love, The Millionaire Messenger. That's what I had learnt. And this book came into my world several years ago when I first launched the Soul Speakers Academy. Now I have the Soul Legacy Academy. It says, in the coming chapters, I will reveal how experts start out and exactly how you can get how they get their message out into the world. Now, I talked about Stephen Bartlett at the beginning of this episode. I'm trying to put my feet up. It's not working. I'm in the sunshine. Can you see me? I'll go this way. So, yeah, I talked about that, getting your book and all the things. I don't know if he's got a course or what have you. And how exactly how they get their message out in the world by a book and get paid for it. I will also address the number one objections I know you have right now. Gosh, Brendan, I'm not an expert. Who would pay me for anything I know? What I know? Do you feel like that? Because I don't now, but I did when I picked up this book. Probably. Don't worry, we'll get to. No, actually, it was further along the journey then. Don't worry, we'll get to your childhood fears of inadequacy soon. Enough. Just kidding. We'll address this concern. Remember, Jade didn't feel worthy of love, right? She had all this stuff. You want to be in alignment. She says, we will address this concern. So the concern, right? Do you have that? Because most people tragically undervalue what they know. And I definitely, I underprice what I know. I don't undervalue it, but I definitely underprice it. For a reason, because I was bankrupt and I was homeless and I want to give back in that way. But I'm at the same time, like, don't get it twisted, because I know my value, dude. So undervalue what they know, or they have never actually thought about what they know and how valuable it could be for others. So I was watching the YouTube videos today and I passed it on to my friend. I didn't have to do the work, but somebody's packaged it up, put it on you. How many YouTube videos have you watched? A lot, right? But before we get to your specific expertise, I want to paint a picture of the broader expert industry so that you can determine if you ever want to be part of it. Trust me, many people can be highly paid expert in any field on any topic. And you've seen YouTubers do whatever they're doing on different topics. And you've seen books, you've read books on every genre possible, which I will prove to you in the upcoming chapters. For now, we should discuss whether this is really a calling, a career you're interested in. As a spiritual entrepreneur, and I know you are, yes, I believe becoming a millionaire messenger is a calling and a real career. There was something that I wanted to say. It says about achieving it is possible and shortcutting the learning curve for someone else. That's about serving. He talks about serving. But he says, obviously, all of this is as a help others bent, has a help others bent to it. And for that, I'm often criticized. Some in our community have called me a bleeding heart and a softie because I often focus on the mission more than the money. But I believe that coming from a place of service is not only a strong spiritual practice, but also good business. If you care about helping others, then they will believe in you. And yes, they will buy from you. I believe everybody has a message and a life story or experience that can help other people. You have a message too, even if it's yet undefined. And I love that. And my message was undefined at that time. It was 8 years ago that I first came across this book. I had the Soul Speakers Academy, and obviously died to become the Soul Legacy Academy. But my work still had the same voice and essence to it. It wasn't this. So I love that. And so if you're thinking, I can't package up what I do, just have a look at how many books are out there. If you have a book inside of you, how many courses have you purchased? Probably a lot. So I want to wrap up this episode with inviting you to SBYN, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. For spiritual entrepreneurs who have a movement, if you have a book inside of you, you have a podcast inside of you, a YouTube channel, you want to build your author and authority platform, you want to get out and go get featured, take your book on a book tour, whatever it is, you want to share your gifts, you want to show up, speak out and serve deep in a soul-led community, I would love to have you on our monthly call. It's a free networking call to continue on this conversation. And for people to support you in your success and to love up on you and support you, especially when you don't feel like you've got people around you that get it. So in the show notes and in the description of this episode, you will see an invitation, and I'd love to have you on the call. It's on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. And I am in the UK, and it is UK time, but the calendar actually converts your time for you. It's a 90-minute call. I will have breakout rooms as we grow again as a community. I'm super excited to support you. Thank you so much for watching this episode on financial freedom and soul clients on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. I'm your girl, Iona Meade at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I can see you're on. I'm about to hop off. I've been on here for over an hour. Do leave a comment. Do let me know how you find this episode. You will be able to find the replay. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow along wherever you're watching me. Let me know. And I shall speak to you soon. Big love. Take care.